Good evening, I'm Apolinario, 30 Dignadisi Valencia, and this is Philippine Headlines. In Luzon, a 36-year-old man who drowned in Rojas was rescued. A 36-year-old man was rescued by the Philippine Coast Guard after drowning in the waters of Purok Seaside in Barangay 4 in Rojas in Palawan on Sunday afternoon. According to a report from the Coast Guard district in Palawan, two children initially reported the drowning incident to authorities. Before the report was made, local fishermen had already noticed the victim floating face down in the water, initially mistaking him for a buoy. The victim was unconscious when Philippine Coast Guard responders arrived. He was brought to the shoreline where authorities immediately performed CPR until he expelled the seawater he had swallowed and regained consciousness. The victim was first taken to Rojas Medicare Hospital and was later transferred to a hospital in Puerto Princesa City for further medical evaluation and treatment. In Visayas, the uncle and nephew was die after motorcycle crashes into parked truck in Kalinog. An uncle and his nephew were declared dead on arrival at the hospital after the motorcycle they were riding crashed into a parked truck in Barangay Carvasana in the municipality of Kalinog, the province of Iloilo, at around 1:20 a.m. on Sunday. The victims were identified as Eric Villena, 43 years old, the motorcycle driver, and Edgardo Villena, 18 years old, his passenger. Both were residents of Barangay Alugmawa in Lambunao. According to the investigation conducted by the Kalinog Municipal Police Station, the uncle and nephew were coming from the town of Kalinog and were on their way home to Lambunao. However, upon reaching Barangay Carvasana, the driver reportedly lost control of the motorcycle, causing it to crash into a truck parked along the roadside. Police further revealed that the motorcycle driver had allegedly been drinking before the accident. In Mindanao, the houses on fire in Barangay Lapasan reached fourth alarm. Current situation in Little Cebu in Lapasan, Cagayan de Oro after homes were razed by fire. The authorities reported that the Bureau of Fire Protection declared a fourth alarm due to the large number of houses involved and the fact that most of the homes were made of light materials, allowing the fire to spread rapidly. As of this time, firefighters are conducting overhaul operations to ensure that the fire is completely extinguished and to prevent any possible rekindling. In other news, the devotees attend the La Flotilla de San Pedro during Duao Davao 2026. The devotees gathered and took part in the La Flotilla de San Pedro Archdiocesan Grand Procession on June 27 as part of the Duao Davao 2026 celebration. The procession carried the image of the Saint Peter, the patron saint of city of Davao, which was placed behind the San Pedro Cathedral as the center of the religious celebration. The event highlighted the strong faith and devotion of Catholic Davaoenos as they continued the annual tradition of honoring their patron saint. And our business update, Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas unauthorized e-money tie-ups. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas has warned supervised institutions against extending, sharing, or transferring the authority to offer electronic money services to unlicensed partners, platforms, or third-party providers. In a memorandum, the central bank said all BSP-supervised financial institutions or BSFIs authorized to offer e-money services should ensure that such authority is used only by the entity approved by the regulator. The memorandum, signed by the BSP Deputy Governor Mamerto Tangunan, covers arrangement involving technology services, platform access, co-branding, partnerships, wallet provisioning, outsourcing, and similar structures. The reminder comes as financial institutions increasingly work with technology firms and other partners to expand digital wallets, online payments, and customer-facing financial services. According to the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, these arrangements should comply with Republic Act 11127 or the National Payment Systems Act, the Manual of Regulations for Payment Systems, and other applicable licensing, registration, prudential, consumer protection, and risk management rules. In assessing these structures, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas said it could consider the actual functions performed by the parties, the allocations of responsibilities and risk, customer-facing representation, control over funds and accounts, and whether the arrangement results in another person or entity effectively performing activities that require Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas approval. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas also told supervised institutions to ensure that outsourcing, partnership, or third-party arrangement remain consistent with existing rules on governance, risk management, safeguarding of customer funds, liquidity, disclosures, consumer protection, and regulatory accountability. In Luzon, the minor phreatomagmatic eruption occurs at Taal Volcano. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOX, shared a sped-up footage of the minor phreatomagmatic eruption at Taal Volcano, which lasted for about 4 minutes from 7:13 a.m. to 7:17 a.m. this morning. The volcano remains under alert level 1. In Visayas, the 14-year-old was drowned in Tuburan. A 14-year-old boy lost his life after drowning in a river in Sitio Ilaya in Barangay Putat in municipality of Tuburan, the province of Cebu. The incident occurred at around 2:30 p.m. on June 28. The victim was identified as Rans Rafael Abuan Dalagite, 14 years old, a resident of Purok 2 in Barangay Putat in Tuburan, Cebu. According to reports, the Tuburan police station received a call regarding a drowning incident in the area and immediately responded to the scene. A police investigation revealed that the victim was swimming with his friend Jerry, also 14-year-old, at a river known locally as Hidden Paradise. Jerry told investigators that they were swimming toward a large rock in the river, which is usually accessible to people crossing the area. While swimming, he suddenly noticed that Rans had disappeared underwater. Jerry immediately dove into the river to search for his friend and found Rans trapped beneath a large underwater rock. He quickly pulled the victim out and brought him to the surface in an attempt to save him. The several bystanders also helped rescue the victim while waiting for the medical team to arrive. The victim was rushed to a hospital for treatment but was declared dead on arrival. Authorities from the Tuburan police station are continuing their investigation into the drowning incident. In Mindanao, the passengers scrambled out of a public bus after it emitted thick smoke in the middle of its trip in Mawag, Davao de Oro on the afternoon of June 29. In a post shared by netizens, some passengers were seen jumping out of a bus windows in fear that the vehicle might catch fire. Meanwhile, many online users praised a passenger wearing a red t-shirt who was seen in a video bravely helping fellow passengers get out of the bus while smoke continued to spread inside the vehicle. In the other news, the teachers group seeks to restore clear disciplinary authority of teachers. The Teachers Dignity Coalition, or TDC, supports restoring the clear disciplinary authority of teachers inside the classroom through the proposed teacher protection policy. According to TDC Chairperson Benji Basas, he explained that many teachers have become hesitant to enforce discipline due to fears of being accused of child abuse or other violations, even when their intention is simply to maintain order in the classroom. Chairperson Bases clarified that the proposal does not seek to bring back corporal punishment. Instead, it aims to establish clear boundaries regarding how teachers may discipline students. The group is also advocating for a clearer definition of acceptable disciplinary measures, as well as adequate legal protection and representation for teachers who face work-related complaints. Furthermore, the TDC emphasized the need to review existing policies and law to ensure a balanced approach that protects the welfare of students while safeguarding teachers' rights to effectively perform their duties. And our business update, ICC approves LRT1 common station, 3 other projects. The Investment Coordination Committee, Cabinet Committee or ICC-CC recently approves the Light Rail Transit or LRT1 South Extension common stations and 3 other public investment projects. In a statement Monday, the Department of Finance or DOF said other projects approved by the ICC-CC include the boosting employability in strategic or TVET sectors or BEST project of the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority or TESDA, the Philippine Geothermal Resource De-risking Facility or PGRDF, and the Philippine Seismic Risk Reduction and Resilience Project or PSRRRP. The ICC-CC approval of the LRT1 common stations clears the path for construction of the Unified Grand Central Station along North Avenue in Quezon City. The transit hub will link LRT1, Metro Rail Transit or MRT3, and the incoming MRT7 in the Metro Manila subway under a single seamless roof. The Finance Secretary and ICC-CC Chair Frederick Go said rail projects give people back their time. A seamless connection between LRT1, MRT3, MRT7, and the subway means shorter commutes, more hours with family, and workers who can reach more opportunities across the city. The ICC process exists to make sure every project we endorse delivers real outcomes for Filipinos. The BEST project is expected to expand access to high-quality, industry-aligned technical and vocational education and training in sectors where demand for skilled workers is highest, including manufacturing, construction, information and communication technology, and agri-fishery. It aims to equip more Filipinos with in-demand skills that will lead to better employment opportunities and higher incomes while strengthening the country's talent pipeline to support industrial growth, innovation, and competitiveness. The DOF said the PGRDF reduces the financial risk of early-stage geothermal exploration, funded through a sovereign loan from the Asian Development Bank or DBP and implemented through a land bank of the Philippines. The facility is expected to attract more investments in the country's geothermal resources, the strengthening energy security while helping provide Filipinos with cleaner, more reliable, and more affordable electricity. The PSRRRP, meanwhile, targets the seismic retrofitting of school buildings in Metro Manila and strengthens the Department of Public Works and Highways or DPWH capacity to respond rapidly when disaster strikes. It will strengthen the country's preparedness against major earthquakes and help ensure the schools remain safe and operational during and after seismic events. All 4 projects will be elevated to the Economic and Development Council, chaired by the President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. for final approval. The Department of Finance said these projects support the Marcos administration's goal of building a more connected, competitive, resilient, and inclusive economy. In Luzon, the ceiling panel in the Bicol International Airport waiting area collapsed. A ceiling panel collapsed at the well-wishers area of the Bicol International Airport Terminal last June 25. According to the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines or CAAP, no one was injured in the incident. The affected area was immediately closed off and restricted to ensure the safety of the passengers and airport personnel. The airport's engineering team has also conducted a thorough inspection and repair of the building structure to restore the area once all required safety clearance procedures have been completed. Meanwhile, Raul Del Rosario, Director General of CAAP, apologized for the inconvenience and concern caused by the ceiling collapse and assured the public that immediate measures are being taken to prevent similar incidents from happening again. In Visayas, the driver falls asleep, van crashes into house. The driver of a Nissan Orvan and 3 passengers were injured after their vehicle crashed into a house in Barangay Colonia in Tuburan, Cebu at around 1:30 p.m. on Tuesday. Based on initial information, the driver allegedly fell asleep while driving, causing him to lose control of the steering wheel before the van slammed directly into the residence. The injured victims were immediately given medical assistance while authorities continued their investigation to determine the exact cause of the accident. In Mindanao, a church in the city of Davao was flooded. The flood waters entered the St. Mary of the Perpetual Rosary Parish in Buhangin, Davao City due to the continuous heavy rainfall on the morning today. As a result, church services and mass celebrations were cancelled. The church administration has encouraged parishioners to work together and help clean the entire church following the flooding. In the other news, the weekend civet cat enters a house in Puerto Princesa City. A civet cat, or locally known as musang or Palawan civet cat, entered the house in the Puerto Princesa City yesterday. According to video uploader Alma Lusuegro Montante, the animal appeared weak when it entered their home and reportedly had blood coming from its nose. The animal was immediately rescued by the Palawan Council for Sustainable Development or PCSD. And our business update, AirAsia Philippines heads Manila Puerto Princesa route. This is the last flight. AirAsia Philippines has officially suspended operations on the Manila to Puerto Princesa route as of June 30. The airline's final flight on the route was APG 431, and despite unfavorable weather conditions, the aircraft successfully departed from Puerto Princesa International Airport. Members of Palawan plane spotters witnessed AirAsia's final departure even amid the rain. It can be recalled that the City Tourism Office earlier announced that AirAsia would temporarily suspend its operations in Puerto Princesa starting July 1 due to operational costs. Meanwhile, NCCC Malvar in the city of Puerto Princesa to close this July. The NCCC Malvar in the city of Puerto Princesa, the province of Palawan, will officially cease operations on July 15 as part of the business realignment efforts of New City Commercial Corporation or NCCC. In a company announcement, NCCC Malvar was included among several branches in Palawan and Mindanao that will discontinue operations. NCCC is remembered as one of the first malls to open in Puerto Princesa City and in the province of Palawan. In Luzon, 2 bakery workers drowned in a river in Mountain Province. Picnic outing ends in tragedy. 2 employees of the bakery were found dead in Agcuyo River in Bontoc Mountain Province on June 30 after a picnic outing ended in tragedy. The victims were identified only by their aliases: Jer, 25 years old, a resident of Poblacion Mancayan in Benguet, and Jake, 38 years old, a resident of Middle Quirino Hill in Baguio City. According to Bontoc Municipal Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office or MDRMO, the two victims went to the river with three of their co-workers to spend their day off. At around 3 p.m., their companions saw Jer and Jake swimming in the river's current. However, after 3 hours had passed and the two had not resurfaced, their co-workers became alarmed. The authorities immediately launched a search and rescue operation. The following day, the bodies of the two victims were recovered, reportedly both submerged in the river. The authorities continue to remind the public to exercise caution when visiting rivers and other bodies of water to help prevent similar tragedies. In Visayas, traffic enforcer rolls in the pavement after being hit by SUV. Suspect chased by senior citizen. A traffic enforcer rolled across the pavement after being struck by a white SUV at an intersection near the capital nearly Wednesday morning. According to witnesses, the SUV driver allegedly attempted to flee the scene immediately after the collision to avoid responsibility. However, the suspect did not get far after a brave senior citizen who witnessed the entire incident quickly chased after the vehicle. The injured traffic enforcer was treated by responding paramedics after sustaining brushes and other injuries. Authorities are still awaiting the official police report regarding the driver and additional details surrounding the incident.
Awas man ang iskaryo, so ako siyang gipapahunong.
In Mindanao, a motorcycle and a Mitsubishi Mirage collide in Barangay Kaoswagan. CDRMD responds swiftly. The City Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Department or CDRMD Oro Rescue Team quickly responded to a road accident involving a motorcycle and a Mitsubishi Mirage in Barangay Kaoswagan in the city of Cagayan de Oro on the night of June 30. Oro rescue personnel immediately provided initial medical treatment to the motorcycle rider and a passenger at the scene. After receiving first aid, the victims were promptly transported to a hospital for further medical care. In the other news, 133 new dialysis machines at Southern Philippines Medical Center are now operational. The Southern Philippines Medical Center or SPMC had officially launched 133 new dialysis machines as part of the expansions of services at the new SPMC Kidney and Transplant Institute or SKTI. The new facility was blessed on June 30, including the renal dialysis unit, immunology laboratory, pharmacy, warehouse, laboratory, billing and cashier offices, mezzanine waiting area, and inpatient dialysis unit. PSPMC Chaplain Father Angel led the blessing ceremony while Medical Center Chief Dr. Ricardo Audan headed the ceremonial opening. The project is a part of the establishment of the Advanced Comprehensive Kidney Care Center, which aims to expand access to quality kidney care and dialysis services for our patients in the Davao region and nearby areas. And our business updates, San Miguel Unit gets Energy Regulatory Commission nod for 1.7 billion pesos transmission project. San Miguel Global Power Holdings Corporation, the power generation arm of San Miguel Corporation, has secured regulatory approval to build a 1.7 billion pesos dedicated transmission facility to connect the expansion of its Masinloc coal-fired power plant to the Luzon grid. In a 19-page decision, the Energy Regulatory Commission authorized Masinloc Power Cooperative Ltd. to develop, own, and operate dedicated point-to-point transmission facilities that will connect the expansion of its 700 megawatts coal-fired power plant in Zambales to the transmission network. MPCL, a subsidiary of SMGP, owns the operates of Masinloc Power Plant. The company is expanding the facility by constructing two additional generating units with a combined capacity of 700 megawatts or 350 megawatts each. The two units are scheduled for completion between 2025 and 2026. Under the approved connection scheme, the expanded coal-fired power plant would initially connect with the Castillejo substation of the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines or NGCP before shifting the Palaig substation of its permanent connection. Last year, San Miguel or SMGP said it had earmarked about 87.1 billion pesos in capital expenditures for three baseload power projects. The budget includes 15.8 billion pesos for the Masinloc expansion, 34.4 billion pesos for a 600 megawatts coal-fired power plant in Maribeles, Bataan, and 36.9 billion pesos for a 1,320 megawatts gas for power plant in Batangas. In Luzon, the sad fate of viral Pampanga ostrich dies a day after a road incident. The ostrich that went viral after being spotted wandering along a road in Lubao, Pampanga died just one day after the incident. According to local officials, the bird suffered extreme stress after the mate died while laying an egg. The female ostrich was reportedly unable to expel the egg, which caused her death. Grieving the loss of its partner and overwhelmed by stress, the surviving ostrich escaped from its enclosure and wandered onto a busy highway, temporarily disrupting traffic. After 30 minutes, the animal was safely returned to the farm by its handler. However, tragedy struck again the following day when the ostrich became entangled in a wire fence inside the farm. It sustained fatal injuries and eventually died. The ostrich has since been buried on the farm. The incident saddened many netizens who had followed the bird's viral run along the road. In Visayas, the worker dies due to electrocution in the municipality of Compostela. A 25-year-old construction worker died after being electrocuted at around 12:02 p.m. on Thursday in Sitio Cornerian, Barangay Cogon in the municipality of Compostela, the province of Cebu. The victim was identified as Renel Andogan Daklan, a resident of Sitio Liberty in Barangay Coit in Cebu City. According to police reports, the Compostela Municipal Police Station received a call from a security guard at Danao City District Hospital reporting that the man had been brought in after suffering electrocution. The police responded to the scene and gathered statement from 6 co-workers of the victim who were also construction workers at the site. Witnesses said that during their lunch break, the workers were inside their bunkhouse at the construction site where the victim attempted to retrieve an extension cord commonly used for their ceiling fan without wearing footwear. He reportedly came into contact with a damaged portion of the wire, causing him to be electrocuted. His co-workers immediately turned off the circuit breaker and rushed him to Danao City District Hospital, but he was declared dead on arrival. The police said they have recommended an autopsy to determine whether foul play was involved, but the victim's family has declined the procedure. In Mindanao, Sanol Ecotourism Nature Park undergoes rehabilitation after flash flood buries resort in mud and debris. Clearing and rehabilitation operations have begun at Sanol Ecotourism Nature Park in Purok Dam in Barangay Landan in Polomolok, South Cotabato, after the entire resort was buried in mud, rocks, and debris following a flash flood that struck the area the other day. According to resort owner Dionisio Escaran, only light rain had been falling in their area before the incident. However, a few hours later, a massive surge of water and mud rushed down from the mountains, completely covering the resort. The flash flood buried 2 swimming pools and submerged a minivan, a top-down vehicles, and several motorcycles. Fortunately, no employees or guests were reported injured or killed. Initial estimates placed the damage to the resorts at around 300,000 pesos to 500,000 pesos. As a result, the resort's operations and the livelihood of those who depend it have been temporarily affected while cleanup and rehabilitation are underway. Full restoration of normal operations is expected to take several months. Meanwhile, the Municipal Environment and Natural Resources Office or MENRO of Polomolok said several factors may have contributed to the flash flood, including the conversion of parts of the forest into agricultural land, the effects of the magnitude 7.8 earthquake on June 8, and the series of heavy rains in the area. The authorities continue to assess the affected area as clearing and rehabilitation efforts remain ongoing. In the other news, rocket debris recovered in Palawan. The personnel from the Philippine Coast Guard or PCG recovered a large piece of suspected rocket debris after it was found floating along the shoreline of Sitio Taburon in Barangay Balading on Bisukay Island in Cuyo, Palawan on Wednesday. Local authorities responded immediately after residents reported spotting an unusual object that has washed ashore on the beach. According to the initial assessment, the metallic objects bear markings and features similar to components that separate from space rockets after launch. The recovered foreign object has been turned over to Maritime Security and Law Enforcement Group Palawan or MARSLEGPAL, which has been tasked with conducting a thorough technical assessment and validation to officially determine the material proposed of the debris. The Philippine Coast Guard is also expected to coordinate with the Philippine Space Agency or PhilSA to identify the object's exact origin, including the country or specific space mission it may have come from. Experts have long warned about falling debris from foreign rocket launches, which can pose risk to maritime area. Meanwhile, the authorities reminded fishermen and coastal residents not to touch or approach similar suspicious objects if they encounter the safety of the investigation is ongoing. And our business update, Smart, PLDT and Dito signed a Memorandum of Agreement. The Resource Sharing Agreement. Smart, PLDT and Dito Telecommunity have signed a Memorandum of Agreement or MOA to expand their network coverage through infrastructure sharing. The ceremonial signing was led by PLDT Chairman and CEO Manuel B. Pangilinan and Dito President and CEO Eric R. Alberto. Also present during the signing of the Memorandum of Agreement were PLDT FVP for Network Roderick S. Santiago, PLDT Chief Operating Officer Menardo G. Jimenez, Dito Chief Commercial Officer Adel Tamano, and Dito Chief Technology Officer Rodolfo Santiago. And that is Philippine Headlines this Friday, July 3, 2026. I'm Apolinario, 30 Dignadisi Valencia, and this is Salakot Online Broadcasting Network. Good night, Philippines. Amping kasadya.